Hey, shalom, y'all. Hey, guys, it's Fletch. Welcome back to OTH. I was just spending a little bit of quality time with the Father this morning, you know, whatever that might mean to you, right? Your quiet time, your meditation, whatever. For me, that's what it is. And I was contemplating a concept in my head, and that concept is that hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And so it creates a cycle that we as the human race, right, tend to cycle through. And as with many things in the natural order of nature, we tend to follow. And that's also goes hand in hand with the idea or the concept that Stoicism is what creates nations. Epicureanism is what creates the demise of nations, right? Epicureanism, I would submit to you, is exactly where Western society is at right now, whether you're talking about the Americas in general, right? Especially, you know, the good old US of A. Man, on my channel, I've been trying to talk about things along this line for quite some time now. I don't know, I've been on YouTube for 6 or 7 years, something like that. And, you know, just little bits and pieces here and there, talking about a lot of these different kinds of concepts. And guys, you know, it's time that we start as men, right, continuing to be men. One of the things that Epicureanism does, for those of you that aren't aware of such things, Epicurus, or Epicurus, however you say it, right, was a Greek philosopher. And his whole shtick, right, was that, you know, the greatest thing in life was to seek pleasure. And it wasn't pleasure of the flesh, it was pleasure of the mind, right? And, you know, it goes back to the old, I think, therefore I am, right? And unfortunately, you know, we live in a society that wholesale has bought into that type of thing. And unfortunately, in my opinion, I would also say, goes right along with the idea or the concept that the Bible, right, that many of us espouse a faith or belief in, is written from a perspective of an Eastern perspective and not a Western perspective. And in Eastern perspective, it's I am, therefore I do. And you learn through doing. You don't become something just because you think that you are, right? As Pastor Dal says, it's more than just mental assent. And yes, I just said Pastor Dal. Oh my gosh. As long as we're on that, let's talk about that. So, one of the lies that you, me, all of us have been taught is that if someone disagrees with you on a certain subject, that person is then your enemy. No, they're not. So, and that's you know, also part of the control mechanism, right? And when you live in an Epicurean, or the belief system of Epicureanism, that you do not like strong men. And when you see strong men, you tear them down, whether it's a cognitive function or not. That tends to be what happens, in my opinion. And so, therefore, there's this idea that as a man, that I can learn something from another man that I disagree with certain aspects on. Or the idea or the concept that, oh, well, if you're saying that you learned that from that person, then you have to agree with everything that they said. Guys, no, you don't. That's part of the lie. And as a society, we've bought into that hook, line, and sinker. Understand that, and as much as possible, as much as it within your control system, resist that. And when people try to, put that on you, so to speak, right? Try to put you in their box so that they, and more or less what it is, guys, it's to control you. It really is. And understand that as the scriptures tell us, come and let us reason together. It doesn't mean that we have to completely agree on everything, to not respect each other, to not embolden each other, to not be there for your brother, and to learn from each other and build each other up. As a matter of fact, I was just listening to a video today by Bear Independent, and if you're not subscribed to him, I'd highly suggest that you do. And anyways, in that short video they had, it was only a couple minutes long, he quoted, I think it was FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and great quote by Roosevelt. And a couple of people started attacking him, and like 8 people, at the time I watched it, had already, down-thumbed the video. Oh, well, he was the one that, brought in all of this welfare programs and this and that, one and the other. Hey guys, it goes right along with that same type of belief system, in my opinion, right? You can't learn from that man. You can't hear the truth in that one piece of his life, right? Where he may have gotten it right, because you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Because he did X, Y, Z, and you don't agree with X, Y, Z. Now all of a sudden, well, you can't have any respect for that person, and you can't have any respect for anybody that would quote that person. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. We can all do better than that. So remember that in your day-to-day travel, in your day-to-day work. And remember, guys, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I've been talking about this on my channel for years now. Guys, socialism is evil. I said it. Yes. Socialism is evil. You, me, nor anyone else is entitled to the work of someone else. In order to get it, to give it to you, the government must first steal it from someone else. And understand that, even the pilgrims got this when they first came over to this country. They tried to do the whole, all in, type theosophy when they first got here. They almost died in the first year and a half, right? But then the second year, they said, no, okay, this family, this is your area, you're responsible for your area. This family, this is your area, you plant, maintain, and grow your crops here, and you're responsible for taking care of you and yours. And then out of your abundance that your family creates out of what you have, then we will take care of the poor and the unfortunate, because just like Messiah taught us, they'll always be with us. Having said that, remember that as you're dealing with the public at large nowadays, right? Because the school system, be it high school or college, is being ran by communists. And guys, understand, truthfully, the only difference between communism and socialism is the AK, the Kalashnikov, right? Or the AKM for you purists out there, right? Truly, it is the only difference. If you read the Communist Manifesto, the only difference, the planks, so to speak, of communism, they're all there in socialism. Just that socialism is much more palatable than communism, right? If you present communism to people, they want nothing to do with that. So it's presented to you as socialism, Look at Venezuela. Venezuela was heralded as, you know, this amazing country on the rise. You know, they were a first world nation at one point, or, you know, on the path or the course to soon be. They're very oil rich, you know, good shopping, the whole 9 yards. But they bought into the lie of socialism. And part of that lie of socialism is always that in order to protect you, in order to protect all of us, we need to disarm ourselves so that people won't get killed. Then what happens, right? Because that's like the last plank in the difference between socialism and communism, is that, you know, once you become disarmed and you can't do anything about it, now it becomes socialism, or communism, excuse me, because it's now being enforced at the barrel of a rifle. Understand that. Understand clearly that that is where we are at, and that is what we are fighting against right now in all of the world, right? The yellow vests and whatnot, right? People, humanity at large, so to speak, is starting to wake up to a lot of these things. And be prepared, right? Because hard times require strong men. And many of us, myself included, were not necessarily raised to be strong men, right? We were raised in a school system that taught us, well, what are your feelings? Well, how do you feel about that? And not what is right and what is wrong. And, you know, we have been taught to value people's feelings over what is right and what is wrong. And understand clearly, folks, that I am not saying that we need to be a-holes and just be mean and a jerk to everyone that we meet or anything like that, and that's what makes you a strong man. I'm not saying that. However, what I am saying is that many times it takes a strong man to get a country, to get a family, to get a congregation, a gathering, a church, whatever you want to call it, out of hard times, to lead them through hard times. And a soft man is not going to be able to do that for you. And you need to wake up and understand that. You need to surround yourself with other strong men. Not, I told my two oldest sons this, so I'll share it with you guys. The things I just said, I had basically shared that with my sons, and the next part is what I'm going to share with you, and I'll try to make it the G-rated version, but still get my point across. There are many women in this world out there who have married their best friend who happens to have male plumbing, and we'll just call it that. They are not strong men. They are never going to be strong men. Sure, they can be nice men. They can have whatever role that their training has taken them to in society. But if you believe that hard times are coming, which many of us do, many of us feel like the Father has led us to understand that, to see that, to know that, you need to start surrounding yourself with other strong men right now. And if that means putting one foot in front of the other and walking away to somewhere else to be around other strong men, then that's what you need to do. Obviously, pray about it, right? Ask the Father for direction. Ask the Father to open the right doors, close the wrong doors, right? Use the good book as your measuring metric, right? As to whether or not the things that you are doing are right or wrong. Don't let public opinion or the ungodly, right, decide for you what is right for you, what is wrong for you and your family. God gave us the obligation and the duty to lead our families as men, especially as strong men. And so understand that. Stoicism creates nations. Epicureanism creates the demise of nations. Which one are you ushering in?